206 bones of the adult skeleton provide structure and protection and facilitate motion. The skeleton protects vital organs. The brain is surrounded by bones that form part of the skull. The heart and lungs are located between the thoracic cavity, and the vertebral column provides structure and protection of the spinal cord. The skeletal system is also the site of calcium and phosphorus storage and blood cell formation. Inside the bone marrow of spongy bone, stem cells give rise to blood cells. Interactions between the skeleton, muscles, and nerves move the body. The nervous system sends commands to skeletal muscles to contract, producing movement at joints or articulations between bones. There are 5 types of bones in the skeleton: long, short, flat, irregular, and sesamoid. A bone's shape is related to its function. For example, flat bones like the cranial bones and sternum protect internal organs, whereas long bones like the humerus and femur absorb stress and support body weight. Bones are made up of an exterior layer of compact bone tissue that surrounds sponge bone tissue in the interior. Compact bone tissue is made up of structural units called osteons or Haversian systems, which are arranged in such a way as to resist torque. Sponge bone tissue is made up of a lattice of struts called trabecula. The spaces between the trabeculae are filled with the red bone marrow. The development of skeleton's flat bones begin as certain mesenchymal cells at specific points within embryonic fibrous connective tissue develop into osteoblasts. The osteoblasts cluster together, secrete bone matrix, and develop into osteocytes that deposit calcium and other mineral salts that harden the forming bone matrix. The bone region spread out into thin columns called trabecula or trabeculae and form sponge bone tissue. A fiber covering called the periosteum forms on the surface of the bone, and a layer of compact bone tissue replaces the upper layer of the sponge bone. The process in which flat bone develops from connective tissue is called intramembranous ossification. During embryonic development, cells called the chondroblasts begin secreting cartilage that develops in the shape of the skeleton's long bones. The bluish transparent avascular tissue formed is called the hyaline cartilage. As the cartilage grows, the chondroblasts in the interior calcify and die. Blood vessels penetrate the structure and deliver osteoblasts. These cells lay down bone material. As the cartilage ossifies and spongy bone forms, a medullary cavity develops. At the ends of a long bone, ossification from the cartilage also occurs. The process in which hyaline cartilage becomes bone and grows is called endochondral ossification. Bone growth continues through childhood. After puberty, bone tissue replaces the remaining hyaline cartilage and the shaft reaches its adult length. So this is the process of long bone formation and growth. A fractured bone bleeds. Bone repair begins as over a period of hours. Blood at the fractured site clots and forms a hematoma. The healing begins as osteoclasts in the area remove dead bone tissue. White fibroblasts penetrate the area and build fibrocartilaginous callus that bridges the broken bone. Over many weeks, osteoblasts transform the callus into bone. Continued remodeling and mechanical stress put on the bone graze and shape new bone. Over a period of months or years, the bone regains its original strength, shape, and internal structure. This is the process of bone repair. In the skeletal system, cells called osteoclasts constantly remove old bone while osteoblasts generate new bones. When bone tissue is lost faster than generated, bones can weaken and break. So osteoporosis is the condition in which overall tissue loss within bone result in bone pain, tenderness, and weakened and brittle bones. Sutures are non-moving joints that connect bones of the skull. These joints have serrated edges that lock together with fibers of connective tissue. The interlocking edges make sutures strong and fracture resistant. All skull joints are sutures except for the joint connecting the mandible to the temporal bone, which is a movable synovial joint. Inside the petrous part of the temporal bone are the three smallest bones in the body, the malleus, incus, and straps. These three bones articulate with each other and transfer vibrations from the tympanic membrane to the inner ear. The spinal cord is protected by the meninges and enclosed in the vertebral canal, a hollow space inside the vertebrae. Spinal nerves, which form the majority of the peripheral nervous system, originate in the spinal cord. The dorsal roots arise from the posterior side, and the ventral roots arise from the anterior side. After leaving the vertebrae, the spinal nerves divide into rami, which branch to supply the body. The chopper go out for grand. The nigga pull up your plan. Hope the killers understand.